What's up, everybody? Today, I've got a cheap and easy league starter build for Merc that will carry you all the way to mapping. Its large AoE explosions make clearing adds a breeze, and its bossing is pretty solid as well. This build uses a combination of explosive grenades and siege cascade to nuke rooms of mobs, and oil grenade to slow and debuff targets. This build doesn't use any uniques and can be used as soon as you start your character at level 1. With that, let's get into the video. So at the Dawn of the Hunt update, things on Mercenary have been buffed heavily. Things like Siege Cascade and Explosive Nade have almost had their damage doubled, and it's made Mercenary very good early on. So good that I've only died 6 times for this league starter. Most of my friends have died over 50 times by the time they get the mapping, so that speaks for itself. I'll go ahead and break down the skill gems and what we're using. So here we are on the Dawn of the Hunt Mercenary, and we are currently level 71, and we have played for a total of 1 day, 2 hours, 50 minutes. Now, there's a lot of AFK time here, but in all, it probably took me about 18 hours to clear both Cruel and Normal of the campaign. But this is what I use the entire time to carry myself there, and I did so with some really ragtag gear at times, really just picking up whatever I could find off the ground. I really didn't have like any overpowered gear as I was playing through, so this build is good enough that you can just kind of throw it together and be good regardless of what you're running. So the main skill that we're going to be using the entire time is going to be Explosive Grenade, but we also use Siege Cascade in times where there's large groups of enemies. So the reason why we're using Siege Cascade is that it'll shoot a bolt at every target within a radius around you, and this will work really well whenever there's big groups of enemies. It'll shoot a ton of bolts, and since we have such large area of effect, whenever they land in the ground and they explode, they'll hit multiple enemies, so that it creates these large AoE explosions. So we're rocking Explosive Grenade, like I said, and we're gonna run Scatter Shot, so that way we can shoot multiple grenades at one time. I'm running Magnified Effect on it, so that way the area of effect is gonna be increased, so you can see how large that explosion is. I'm running Expedite, so that our grenades will have less detonation time, so they'll blow up sooner. And I'm running Defy as my 4th slot right now. I'm kind of testing this out because it's new. But attack damage with hits while supported skill is lucky while you are surrounded. So whenever I'm mapping now, there's always a ton of enemies around you. So I'm surrounded pretty often. So that attack damage being lucky will roll my damage twice, and it'll pick the better number, the better damage number. So this has helped my damage a lot. It won't show up on the card right here, but I promise you it's really good. And then Siege Cascade, I'm currently running Primal Armament in here, Reach for more area of effect, and then Fire Infusion to get some extra fire damage. I can't really demonstrate this skill here in the hideout because you need multiple targets, but it will shoot a bolt like this and land on the ground and explode. It will shoot a bolt for every single target near you, so the more enemies that there are, the more explosions, the more damage that it'll do. I'm running Oil Grenade to debuff targets. This will lay oil on the ground, which will slow targets and also hit them with fire exposure. Whenever you ignite it with a skill, it'll create burning ground. So it's really good for debuffing targets and locking down areas. I'm running Encumbrance, so that way we have increased slow magnitude from the oil. Strip Away, so that the exposure being applied is increased. And Despoiler, so that way the ground effect of the nade, the duration is increased by 50%, so that this lasts on the ground for longer. Now, whenever you first start out, if you don't have Siege Cascade, another really easy skill that you can use that I've kind of left on is Galvanic Shards. It's still really good with this patch. So I'm running Pierce. If you have Fork, I'd run Fork. Then I'm running Lightning Infusion and Nimble Reload in there. I don't really use this skill anymore now that I'm in mapping. I'm leaning more towards the grenades and the fire, but this was really good early on. Now, Flash Grenade, we're going to be using this to stun targets and also apply blind. You just shoot it, and it shoots out this blinding explosion. It will blind you, so try not to shoot it right at your feet. But this is a great way to stun bosses. I'm running Overpower, so that way we get more stun buildup, and Maim, so that way it'll maim targets that this hits to slow them down. This skill isn't necessary. I was kind of messing with it to see if it was good or not now, but I find at times that I sometimes put my Explosive Grenade on cooldown from spamming it a whole bunch at targets. I'm running the Cluster Grenade now to kind of, whenever I need it, I can drop it. It does okay. But I'm running Ingenuity on it to reduce the cooldown. I'm running Fiery Death to get extra explosions, and Inspiration to reduce the cost of the skill. It just creates this big explosion right here, shoots out a whole bunch of mini grenades, and it covers a wide area. It's good for big groups of enemies, but I don't find it like crazy good. And then we're running Herald of Ash. This is what we're using to also kind of proc more explosions. Whenever we kill an enemy, it will apply a fire-based debuff, or like damage over time to targets in an area. It's just extra damage to adds while we're mapping. And I'm running Vitality in it since I have extra spirit to regenerate maximum life per second. And I'm also running Time of Need to recover some life and remove elements on us. You could run something like Wind Dancer or the armor one, but right now I'm rocking this. I'm running Fast Forward to make it proc faster, and I'm running Cannibalism so that way I get 2% of maximum life recovered on kill whenever the skill is active, which is active all the time. So yeah, that's all of the support gems and skill gems. I'm going to go ahead and go over the gear and why I'm picking to use what I am. So on the crossbow, I'm going to recommend that you get increased elemental damage with attacks. Since all of our attacks are pretty much elemental, we want to increase that amount of elemental damage that they're doing. This is pretty important. The other thing that I would point out is you want to get your physical damage high. If not, try to get some added fire damage. That's really all that there is to it on the crossbow for now. I did enjoy having life and mana on kill whenever I was pushing through the campaign. It made it really, more effective for me not to die or not run out of mana. So getting those on the crossbow or your rings right now is super effective. For the gloves, I would recommend that you just get a pair of gloves that has high defenses and added max life. Added damages is nice if you can get it regardless of what type. Increases to attack speed don't really apply to the grenades, how fast you shoot them, so you don't really need increased attack speed. I would just recommend that you bolster your defenses here, and I am running armor and evasion right now. For the chest piece, it's going to be the same thing. I'm running armor and evasion. I got max life and get you some resistances on there. That's all that really matters at the moment. Just get what you can right now. On my boots, get you some movement speed. I got some max life. I got some life regen, some resistances. So same thing, armor evasion. Get those defenses up, get those resistances up. On my helmet, same thing, armor EV, max life. You can get some max mana. I got some dex. Any stat boost is good right now, and then some resistances. Rings, added damage to attacks and things like life and stats and resistances. Fill out what you can for now. Same thing on this ring. I got some mana regen on this one. On my amulet, I just got some to all attributes. I got increased armor. If you can get % increased armor or % increased max life, that'd be huge right here for now. Just focus on getting your resistances filled out a bit more and getting your life up. Same thing on the belt. I'm getting some max life, some strength, some life regen, stuff like that. And then just right now I'm running a chaos charm to help me whenever I do get hit by chaos damage, because as it stands, I don't really have any chaos resistance because I just got in the mapping. But I'm able to clear maps myself. I've already done up to tier 3 maps. I'm about to go do the tier 2 corrupted nexus. I already did the first one. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and go over the passive skill tree now. All right, so for the passive skill tree, I did decide to go with Witch Hunter. You can make this work with any ascendancy. It does not matter. But I have elected to go with Witch Hunter for now. I'm rocking Culling Strike and Decimating Strike. They're super good early on. Culling Strike is just going to kill things earlier for you, and Decimating Strike is going to remove 5 to 30% of HP off of targets whenever you hit them. So super good early on. So first off, we're going to spec straight going down. Right whenever I first started, I went down and grabbed these projectile damage ones. It was at this point, whenever I reached right here, that I decided that I was going to go for grenades. So I then went down this way and got this cooldown nodes and area of effect nodes. I then proceeded to go here and get all of these nodes because crossbows are considered two-handed weapons, so increased damage. I then also grabbed this area of effect and added strength node right here. I ignored this one. I then went down this way and grabbed all these grenade damage cooldowns, +1 to cooldown, and then grenade area of effects. I then went down this way to right here to get movement speed and attack speed if I've killed recently. I was more in it for the movement speeds, that way I can run a little bit faster. I then went this way to grab the grenade damage and grenade detonation time, so that way they would blow up faster. I saved this for later, and I went down this way to go for all this area of effect and attack area damage. I then grabbed these nodes right here to get damage pinning fire resistance and damage with hits increased against burning enemies. You then can go right here and pick these nodes right here to get increased grenade damage, and grenades have a chance to activate a second time. I then picked these nodes right here to increase my damage with crossbows. I then picked these nodes over here to get the increased Culling Strike threshold to make me killing enemies at a lower life. Like I can cull them easier now at a faster rate, at a sooner rate. I then, after I picked all of those nodes, I continued branching this way. I grabbed all of these right here to get this node. We got increases to elemental damage. And then at this point, I boosted my defenses. Whenever you need to boost your defenses, whenever you feel like, you know, your armor and evasion's low, pick these nodes over here. And then same reason why I picked these nodes over here to get my defenses up. You could also branch out this way after you get those, and then pick the projectile area of effect. And then I just picked these damage with hits against enemies affected by elements. And that's what I have for now at the moment. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a gameplay demo for you guys. We're here on a tier 3 map that's also irradiated, so I guess technically it's a tier 4. I'll go ahead and hop into it and show you guys how the build works. So the main thing to do is just to manage the distance. You're gonna shoot your grenades, watch them explode, and just keep moving forward. So as I run through, I'm gonna shoot my nades. If I run into a big target, I'll shoot my oil grenades, so like that, and then I'll ignite it to increase the explosion and ignite the ground. And I just keep moving through the map. If I stumble across, let's say, a big group of enemies like this, I'll shoot my siege cascade, and it'll drop a whole bunch of bolts on them to do a ton of damage. So that's really all I do is I dodge roll through the entire map shooting grenades. If I run out of my my explosive grenade, I'll start shooting my cluster nades, but that's all that I really do. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy. It's not incredibly tanky, so you have to watch yourself for now, but I will be updating the build as I progress further into mapping. I just wanted to get this out for you guys, for those that were struggling with mapping, so hopefully this helps. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be updating it as I progress further in the mapping. So I will be live on Twitch if you want to come watch me play it live today. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave me a comment, you know, like, you know, let me know what you think about the build. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and see y'all in the next one. Take care.